Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. My name is Lynn Marquidant. Today's date is November 9th, 2018, and I'm glad you could join me. See how I switched that around from what I usually do? Tonight, we're going to make a little blanket for our new dollies. And it's really, so I'm trying it along with you for the first time. I am making a sample of the Dancing Squares quilt that we're going to be making tomorrow for our charity quilts. So I'm going to make a mini one to make sure I know how to do it. So grab a project and join me because we're going to have some fun for 60 minutes. You may recall last week you left me, I was making Raggedy Anns. Well, I made some progress. I worked on them every night and I have 3. One of them needs some clothes. This one's going to be for Sophia. And you'll see they have the I love you on their chest. This is the one I did on FiberCast last week, the hair. See how it's longer? Well, I got to thinking, and I'm going to leave it like that because I like it. But on these two, I made the hair shorter, kind of like the original. And I had the clothes here from the last time we made these, so I didn't have to make the clothes. They were already here. What I do have to make, though, is the hat and her bloomers. But I wanted you to know that they are there. And this one, my plan is to make something pretty in pink with those colors and maybe a white apron. So I'll do that next week. That's my plan there. So we'll put her away with the pink. For the Raggedy Ann and Andy, these are going on a shelf for the next time someone has a baby. And I discovered that at the last quilt show, we had a seconds booth where people would bring in their material. And maybe someone who's watching from the Marathon Quilters Guild recognizes this, but I found and brought home these pieces of material that match my Raggedy Ann and Andy perfectly. So I'm going to use these. These are scraps. Someone took, cut squares out of these, what look like to be fat quarters. And I'm going to use that. And then this, I thought, although there isn't a lot of contrast, but I'm going to, well, I was thinking that or maybe this. Basically, we're going to make a little mini quilt for the dolls. But that's too dark. Well, that would be cute too. Or I could do white. I think I'll do white. Okay. So let's put these guys aside. Can you see them? Aren't they cute? There they are. Okay. So they need a blanket. And again, we're going to make a Dancing Squares blanket. The first thing it says is, so this is just real basic sewing a checkerboard. We have to make 8 by 12, so we have to make 96 squares. So we need to make a checkerboard like that. And I'm going to make the smallest one so that the squares will be 2.5 inches. So that means I need to cut 3-inch width strips times about 25. So look at this. I got this at the Missouri Star Quilt Company last time we were there, KB. Speaking of which, so you know, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you now, we're going out to Missouri in January, and we would love to have you come along. We're going to a Missouri Star Quilt Company retreat. It's an Elvis-themed retreat, and we're arriving there on January 21st and through the 25th. So it's a week, the 5 days of the week. We can't wait. If you've never done a retreat, I highly recommend it. We have several of us going. And what I'm trying to do is use up and finish up the things I started at the last Missouri Star Quilt retreat. So KB and Chris and Deb You may remember I had some Kaffe squares, and I had some Kona, I think this was Kona, might have been Kaufman, a mixture of different colors. See how it's different colors tan? Anyway, just a very simple design, and I finished it. And it felt really good. So that's one. I have one more to do. My Goodnight Irene is all made. I just have to quilt it. So I wanted you to see that. I definitely like quilting with Minky on the back. It's so plush, and then when you quilt it up with the batting, it makes it thick and heavy, and it's delightful to sleep under. Puts me to sleep. It's like a heavy blanket. Oh, who's there? I forgot to mention, send any pictures or notes to Lynn at simplycolorful.com. Hey, Chris. Hi, Chris. I'm glad you're watching. I wish you were coming to Missouri, but I know you're going to the road trip in California. Oh, I'm psyched you're there, and I'm glad you came back from Florida. Carol says, OMG, sorry I am late. Cam just came home. So happy to see him, but so sorry I am late to the show. Oh, you're not that late. Say hi to Cam and say hi to Dean. Glad he's home. That's great. Excellent. So for anyone out there, we're almost finishing up our 5th year. Is that right? Of FiberCast. Oh my goodness. And early on, we started to say, it's amazing what we can get done in 60 minutes. And it really is. It's amazing what you can get done in 60 minutes times 52 weeks times 5 years. And you start to do things again, like these. These are my second Raggedy dolls that I did since we have been working together. Which is why I did them quickly. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on FiberCast because we've done them. But I did want to make them for Sophia and for, and while I was making one to show you the hair, because there were requests to show how I made the hair, I just wanted to make a few more because fundamentally I'm lazy. So I'm cutting these 3 inches. 3 inches. So I know what I wanted to say right off the bat is it's just so sad to think about what is happening with these shootings. And whether it's out in California or in Pittsburgh, it has to stop. You know, I see these memes on Facebook about how everyone sends thoughts and prayers and how we need more than thoughts and prayers. And then the ISIS stabbing, I heard that just before I came on here. So anyway, I'm thinking of anyone who's been impacted. I'm sorry. And I think we need more help for people who have mental illness. I'm not sure it's a gun law thing, although if we didn't have as many guns on the street, maybe those people who have mental health issues wouldn't be able to get them as easily. So maybe it's a 2-pronged solution. It's awful. Okay, so these are my white, and now these, I just love these. I wish I knew where they came from. I'm going to try and get 2 3-inch strips. Speaking of gun violence, like we're wont to do here on FiberCast, I got a call at about 4 o'clock today asking me to speak at a Smart Cities conference in Waltham, Massachusetts, next Friday. clearly they couldn't find a speaker basically, and they needed, you're not going to believe this, they needed a diverse speaker. So I fit lots of categories, and they sent me information about the panel. It's supposed to be a panel on using technology to basically make our lives easier in cities, towns, counties, whatever. Come to find out, Bob Evans, former police chief of Boston, will be on the panel too. You ever get stuck on a panel and you think, I'm not the right person for this panel? So I'm going to see what I can do on that. Nothing that I have to say, and this isn't a self-esteem issue, or probably it is a little bit, but nothing I have to say could come anywhere close to the insight he can share. He's lived it. I'm just a corporate paper pusher. But I'm good at pushing paper, baby. How many times have we cut fabric on FiberCast? Oops. Someone needs a new blade, maybe. Aren't these so pretty? I can't believe how well they went with Raggedy. It's been so nice to hear from everyone when you write in. And, oh, in baking news, I am going to a football game tomorrow, and I made a cake to commemorate. And this is why I'm not a baker. This is why I sew, I don't bake. So we're going to the BC Clemson football game here in Chestnut Hill in Massachusetts. And we have family members who have attended both Clemson and BC. So, and I said I'd bring dessert. We're doing a tailgate thing. And I made a cake with the colors of, supposedly Clemson is orange and I think purple, and then BC is maroon and gold. Well, the maroon looks more like chocolate. It's really not chocolate. I tried to make maroon with old dyes. The orange is hardly orange. And it's 4 layers, and so it doesn't fit in my carry-on case. So, which wouldn't you think that would fit? But what happens is the carry case has indents inside, and so it doesn't fit. Bob said we're going to need dinner-sized plates to eat those pieces of cakes, because inside the piece there are 4 layers, and I frosted them with the orange and the maroon. So we'll have fun with that. Unfortunately, though, and you guys know I'm a day person. The game starts at 8 something tomorrow night. But the good news is that allows me to go make charity quilts with the Marathon Quilters and get some other things done as well. There we go. Da, da, da. Hark! Who's out there? Ding. Hang on. This is a doll blanket, for goodness sake, so it's not going to be, I'm not going to worry too much about precision. Uh-oh. Hey, KB's here. I'm saying uh-oh because KB told me the game starts at 8:30 and she says that's nuts. PPS. I know. Right? Now I'm wondering if I have a black eye. You would tell me if I have black on my eye, right? Or mascara on my eye. Anyway, my sister KB's out there, and let's see what she says. She says, Ann and Andy look great. You're a ray of positivity in a very difficult time. Oh, thank you. We have to try, don't we? She says, thank you and all the FiberCasters for always being kind and supportive of each other. Yes, I agree completely. We have to stick together. And then she says, P.S. Go BC. And then she says, P.P.S. 8:30 exclamation point. That's when the game starts. And she says, that's nuts. I agree. Now, it's such a big game. Clemson is either 8-0 or 9-0. And they're playing little old BC, but go BC. So ESPN Game Day, which picks a college football game to go to, is coming up to Chestnut Hill tomorrow. So it's going to be nuts. The good news is that, and we've been planning this. I'm just coming along for the ride. Bob's brother, David, and family have been planning this for months. And the tailgate, they have a couple of spots, and then we have parking tickets in other places for our cars. So we'll park there, and then we'll walk. And David came over last night or the night before, and he said his count is up to 30 people tailgating with us. And maybe half that many going. We have tickets all in a row. So it's very exciting. And did I mention that there's a cold? So it's raining right now here in New England. By tomorrow night, it should be nice and raw and cold. But it'll be fun. I'm just going to fuel up on some cake. That'll keep me warm. I love this fabric. And I don't think Becky will give me a hard time that this is old lady fabric. This is so funny. I have to tell you this. Chris, I don't know if you've heard this story, but for this, the charity we're doing this for is for children without parents here in Massachusetts. With refugees, immigrants that have found their way from different parts of the world here. And we have lots of fabric donations from guild members, from friends of guild members. It's great when someone has a stash that needs to be distributed. We get access to a lot of that, which I love. Well, we were getting ready for this workshop, and I said to Becky and I are organizing this one. I'll go look in our stash. So we had some batiks from a few years ago. And of course, these stashes get picked over the years. And so you do end up with browns and mottled colors and kind of duller colors, or you end up with some fabric that is from different decades, more florals, but it's still, if you wash it and you air it out, I think it's still good. And in fact, a lot of it is like retro. You're going back in time. The 70s fabric is coming back in. Well, I said to Becky, I'll look through our stash and I'll come up with combinations to make this quilt, right? This checkered quilt, because we're all going to make this in the 4-inch blocks. And it's kind of cool because we're going to cut it diagonally to create the dancing squares. So it's not going to end up being just a checkerboard. So I put together like 9 combinations, and I'm so proud of myself. Well, meanwhile, we get another stash of fabric. Jean does, and she drives it over to Becky's house because she knows we're planning this workshop. We get an email from Becky saying, can someone please come pick up this fabric? I don't want this fabric in my studio. Well, cut to the chase. None of my combinations met the grade either. And it's a good thing because Becky has a great eye for very bright colors. And so we went and we just picked out bright colors, and then we went with a shopping basket of our bright colors into Joann Fabrics when they had Snuggle flannel on sale for $3.49. And they had maybe not cotton on sale, but we had a 25% off coupon. And we had the go ahead from the Quilt Guild leadership to spend a little money on some bright fabrics. So now the big joke is you have to audition your fabric for Becky before you put it in the charity quilts. I, on the other hand, next time may make a whole set of old floral quilts. Or dull batik quilts. It's all good. I mean, this one, you know, this was a Missouri Star deal of the day, this Cafe. This is Cafe fabric. And I fell for it because the price was good, but I don't love the colors. You know, there were some mottled like browns, but now that it's all together, I like it. So it keeps you warm. You know how I've been getting into reading lately? I think I've mentioned this. And by reading, I mean I go to my online Overdrive library app that my mother turned us on to, and I take books out of the libraries, whether it's the Cape Library Association or here in Middlesex County or even the Boston Public Library. You can get access to it, both written and audiobooks. So I like the audiobooks when I can concentrate or stay awake. Anyway, it's all good, and I'm kind of proud of myself that I've been reading more. So I go I go out to the end of the street to pick up my mail the other day, and lo and behold, there's this cool catalog, and it says a catalog for avid readers. And I thought, Google knows, the World Wide Web knows I've become a reader. And I'm so proud of myself, and I think, wow, they know already that I am just reading up a storm. Well, I get it inside that night, I bring it to bed, the catalog, and it had some really cool things, and I should remember the name of it. I'll bring it on the next show. BB it's something Bao. Clearly, I'm not their target audience, but they had really cool products that I hadn't seen before, like really neat puzzles, games, books, collector's edition books, pop-up books, like 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and you have the pop-up. It just lots of really, really cool things to look at. Again, I'm so proud. I'm tickled. I'm thinking, they know I'm a reader now. It was my neighbor's catalog. The mail person had put it in the wrong box. It wasn't meant for me. I still enjoyed it. And if I bought one thing out of that catalog, I would get it again in my name. Okay. So now we have stripes. Technically, these are dark stripes, although that's not very dark, is it? You know what? Maybe I'll pull out. I need 6 of them. Maybe I'll pull out the darkest ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and these I can use for maybe the backing or the binding. Oh, I hate to lose out on those. I love this one. Maybe we do that. Okay, let's put those aside then. And what we want to do, first I'm going to sew these together. My trusty sewing machine has been so good to me this week because I had to use it on my Raggedy Anns and Andy. So what are you all working on? Send me pictures to Lynn at simplycolorful.com and I will look right after this. If you're new to FiberCast, welcome. This is nothing more than a quilt, a sewing gathering where we see what each other's working on. It incentivizes us to do something together. I better read the instructions again. Oh, I didn't want to do this. Oh well. Oh, and it's getting to be holiday time. Who's planning for Thanksgiving? And then don't forget, Christmas is coming. Wreath making time is coming. It's time for my mother to do her wonderful workshop. We're going to be clipping greens this Sunday. Just always fun, fun, fun. There we go. So I'm finger pressing this open. You know, increasingly, I'm liking to open my seams in patchwork. I used to do that when I was little, and then I stopped doing it, but I'm kind of liking the way it's flatter. I guess we didn't. So that'd be an interesting poll question. Who irons their seams open versus over to one side toward the dark? I think we started folding them over toward the dark so that they'd be less likely to pull apart with use. Okay. So what order are we going to put these in? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more of these. Because we were going to, we might have enough for 2 quilts. And Becky tells me if you don't follow the directions exactly, the math goofs up when you do the diagonal cuts. So that's just great. If I'd given myself a little more time, I could have figured this out. Okay. That, let's iron this. Okay. After I cut this, I'll see who's out there. Okay. Ding. Who's that? There's that. And there's that. Okay, now we have 6 and 6. I may use some of this on my Dear Jane. Okay, I dropped one of these. Should be careful. Last time I did this, here we go. I got a cramp in my belly. Who's there? Karen says, directions, schmerections. I know, right? The truth is that it doesn't give us a clear direction. It gives us the directions for 4-inch strips. But down here it says you can do it with 3-inch strips, but it doesn't tell me how long to make the strips. It just says now I'm supposed to sew 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12 light and dark. Well, I have 6. But I'm going to do the 6 and then cut it in half. And that's where if I had left these on, if I hadn't sewn these together, I could have done 12. Ay, ay, ay. Directions, schmerections. That sounds a little obscene, doesn't it? I never said this was a G-rated show, but it is. It is, it is. The band is not here tonight. They have all, well, Mike's daughter has made her college basketball team. So, and she was playing tonight as a freshman. So he was going to watch that. I'd like to go watch her too. And that's Callie. And then the other band members had other things going on. So Bob has taken the time, he's rearranging his studio and he's cleaning it. Well, when he built the studio many years ago, the first part of it, he left blue painter's tape all the way around the edge of the room. It's like, what is it, 12 by 12? It's not a big room, but he soundproofed it and he made it ready and that's where they play their music. Well, he left this painter's tape at the base of the trim, the baseboards, and never pulled it up. Well, he pulled it up yesterday or the day before and discovered how dirty the floor had become after all these years of the boys tracking in the back door from the dirt. We don't have any pavers or anything out back. It's just all dirt. So he was down there cleaning and he said it was actually working great, the cleaning alone. So hopefully he doesn't have to do any major, he was thinking of steam cleaning or acid washing. And I think he's just discovered some elbow grease and some soap and it's working. We have to do 6 of these, so we're gonna make progress. think I'll do 2 of each. See, now this I don't want to iron open, do I? I think I'll do pairs of 2 and then put them together. Going to see who's out there. I'll do it after this one. Okay, so there's the second one. That's pretty. Let's see who's out there. This I always have on my iPad now for my book reading, because I'm a reader, you know. Oh, I can hear it raining outside. By the way, for my cake, I made buttercream frosting and I used 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar, 2 sticks of butter. Yikes. Okay. Hey, you're out there. Hey, Carol, siesta time, says Carol. Oh, because Carol is over in Yorkshire and it is late there. And Carol writes, siesta time. Hi, Lynn and FiberCasters. Hope you've all had a good week. I've had a very productive week. I've put together a wall hanging based on a pattern called sofa siesta. And she says, I've been putting the strip piece blocks for quite a while, but started on the bordered square last weekend. She got it layered on Monday and have been free motion quilting it every chance she has been able to get, and managed to finish it this evening. Oh, that's wonderful. She says, I'm currently sorting out all the loose threads. I had some thread breaks while quilting, so there are quite a few of them. The quilt behind you looks great. Yours, Carol Bell in Yorkshire. Oh, I love it. That is on my list. Isn't that a great use of your scraps, but it also allows you to add some uniformity. I really like that. And your purples, I know you like purple. Ah, love it. Congratulations. Oh, now here's from Long-Armed and Dangerous. Shailene. Oh, and I'm going to sneeze. Shailene says, hi, Lynn. I'm happy to be catching another live FiberCast. In my book, there's nothing wrong with an oversized cake. I love it. She says it looks wonderful. Thank you. I'm curious how it's going to cut. It'll be good. She says, I'm working on my Autumn Lovejoy by Lori Holt. I'm quite a bit behind, but determined to use tonight's hour as well as I can. That's the best. Thank you for letting me know that. Because we are. It's just, it forces us to get it done. Thanks again for all you do. Love the dolls and how great they look. Shailene. From Shannon and Shailene down in Southington, Connecticut. Oh, I love that. Look at that. That's beautiful work. Beautiful. And you'll long arm it yourself, of course. Thank you for doing my quilt. It's been a year and a half. You did Cooper's quilt. Hi from Oz, Allie. Hello. Allie says, morning, Lynn. I'm back home and watching. She says morning because she's down under, down with Peggy and with Wendy and all of you others who are down in Australia. Way. She says, we are going to an You are going to an Elvis, Missouri quilt retreat in January? That would be so much fun, she says. Our next long trip will be starting January 7th at an Elvis week-long festival in central New South Wales. Then we are off to 2 months in Tanzania. Oh, well, how ironic. We'll be doing Elvis things. Do you dress up when you go? My sister dressed up as Elvis one year for a Relay for Life. And it was the best costume. She looked so cool. And she was in like a muscle car too, back from the 60s. It was a great look. It was a great look. Anywho, 2 months in Tanzania. Allie says, today I'm catching up with some sewing challenges. That's right. Allie always has a lot going on. She has the Moda blockheads too. She's fussy cutting hexies and 100 hexies in 100 days. Wow. And she says, have a great weekend to all the FiberCasters. Thank you, Allison. You too. So glad that you're out there. Bronzy Girl. She titled it Raggedy Ann and Andy. Hello, everyone, she says. So funny you have your dolls out there. My hubby and I went to a costume party dressed as Raggedy Ann and Andy. Wish I was going to Missouri Star. Have a wonderful time to all going. Happy Friday, Cheryl Foley. Oh, that is great. Can everyone see that? Oh, Cheryl, thank you. Your husband's adorable. Oh, thank you for sending that. That's great. Oh, see, and he's got a tie. This one, you're reminding me, this one did have a tie. It might be over there, and I just forgot to put it on. It's a green one, like this, like hers. Oh, that's so cute. I hope you had a good time at the party. Oh, Anne, hello, over the pond. Anne says, hi, Lynn and all the FiberCasters. Not sure I'm going to make it till you're on, but there's always tomorrow. Yes, and if you're watching tomorrow, I hope you had a nice Friday night, and I hope you slept well. She says, I've been busy making my hexies for this month's swap tonight, and I finished the embroidery on my wall hanging. Wow, you all are so accomplished. I love this. She says, I just need to quilt it and sew on the beads to finish it. Then hopefully have another go at my alphabet quilt. Oh, yay, that's a Simply Colorful alphabet quilt. If anyone wants the pattern, become a patron. She says, I didn't get anything done last weekend as I had to go to the Southampton hospital for my daughter. The baby is doing okay, but they can't really do anything for her as it's too large and deep in her head. Oh no. They did talk about a shunt, but at the moment they are monitoring her, so they will see her again in December. They also diagnosed her with Corey malformation at the base of her skull, but can't do anything for that while she's pregnant. Oh no. Oh, I'm so sorry. They hope that once she has the baby, things will settle down and they won't need to operate at all. Oh, I'm so sorry. So for now, it's a waiting game for Anne, and clearly you have to stay busy. She says, but on the plus side, Anne says, her 8-year-old son is very excited to be a big brother. I'll add some pictures on my wall hanging. I'm really pleased with it so far. Oh, as you should be. Oh, look at how subtle that is. That is beautiful. Oh, is there? Oh, and your hexies, look at that. I love the cherries, the fussy cutting in the middle. Anne says, I hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Love and quilty hugs from Anne. Oh, right back at you. And I'm really sorry to hear about your daughter. Modern medicine is amazing. So I'm glad you guys are out there. I wonder if it helps to take handwork to the hospital, or is it just too many distractions, too many up and downs? think someone may have the quilt commented on the quilt behind me. The center of it, I did those blocks with Carol Doak in a class up in New Hampshire many years ago. They're paper pieced. This is going to be worth keeping watching, and I'll tell you why. Because there is a trick. Once we sew these together and then create the checkerboard, then I want to show you on the directions. Whoops. So we make the checkerboard here. Then to make the squares dance, we cut the checkerboard diagonally, and then we move the piece down so that it makes this diamond, and then we cut it again, the diamond, and we sew it again so that then the squares dance. Easy as pie, right? So we'll see. Can't imagine it's all that precise if we're slicing through the squares. I bet we cut off some of the points. Go. There's another one. It's pretty. I love always hearing from you all, from Carol and Ann and Allie. And Cheryl, aka Raggedy Ann. We haven't heard from Sandra in a while. Down in Mississippi. There's another one. Good. Is this our last one? Yay. took a walk this afternoon in my bright yellow neon sweatshirt so the deer hunters could see me. I just stayed on the street. But I saw Lucille, our neighbor. She's back from the Dominican. So it was good to see her. Okay. Oh, here we go. Well, first things first. Let's clean these up. Oh. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, good, good. We have 6. 6. Those are all reusable pieces. Okay. Now let me get that going. I'm not going to cut them in half. I'm going to sew them all together again. I think. Okay, this I am going to iron toward the dark side. I'm doing this while my iron heats up. Okay. Aren't these pretty colors? There. Okay, so there are 3. Now I'll do the other 3. They're so pretty. There. We may have to have a special January 1st episode where we do the overhead camera. We debut it. Wouldn't that be good? We should set ourselves that goal. We are going to take a couple of week hiatus at the end of December because of the holidays. We're going to be in St. Martin celebrating a couple of people's birthdays. Okay. Aren't those pretty? So let's do this one and that one. And this one. Oh, do this one and this one. And this one and this one. Yeah, those are pretty. Okay, so now we just sew them together. We may go more than 60 minutes tonight. Do you believe that? How are we doing here? I don't want to keep you. Oh, isn't that funny? We have 2 minutes left. So we're not going to get this done tonight. But that's okay. After I do this, I'm going to see who's out there and make sure I caught everyone. Ding! Who's that? Okay, so at least we got one done. Let's make sure I said hi to everyone before. Chris Meyer says, no, I need to say the cutting part. Okay, please go over 60 minutes. Okay, I will. I'll keep going. Oh, you're so funny. Okay. So this and this. I think it's going to be really kind of cool. Okay. Go. So that's 3 of them. I think I'll do 3 together, then I'll put the 2 3s together. You know what I mean? Jelly bean? Okay. So there's that. Now let's do this. Okay, there's that. And then this. This is a quilt for a doll, so I'm not going to worry about it being too straight. Actually, though, by the size of this, it might be a good baby quilt size when it's done, which will be perfect because it'll go with the Raggedy Anns and Andy. There we go. Okay, so now we have that and this. Let's sew these together. And I will check still to see who's out there. I didn't check. Thanks for hanging in there with me. This is going to be fun. It'll be a real accomplishment tonight. Okay. Do you believe it? Even just stripes. Isn't that so pretty? Now I'm making sure to iron all of these strips the same way so that when I cut them the other way, they nestle. Okay, so now we have 12 across. Let's look at our directions, schmirections. Okay. Sew all the strips together. Cut cross section, fold it over in half so it'll fit on my cutting mat. Cut 8 3-inches. 8 3-inch strips from this. Okay. Here's where we start to do some magic. Maybe. Let's put that way over there. Okay, and because I have a small cutting mat, I'm going to fold it over again. Okay, let's cut some 3-inch strips. Ooh. I hope the quilting police aren't around. Okay, so we cleaned that up. 3, 2, 3, oh, you can't really see me, I'm sorry. 4, okay, so there are 4 strips. I'm going to square this up again. Okay, so there were 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6, 7, whoops. And see how this one has all of the squares that I sewed in half, all the seams? I'm going to put that aside because we have extra. So 4, 5, 6, I'm going to cut 2 more. Seven, 8. Okay. So we can put this away for another day, put this away. Now we need to alternate these. In theory, this would just be 2 colors, but this is going to work out just fine. That. So you get the idea. Oops. Oops, oops, oops. And then nest the seams. Some of them match. Okay. Okay, there's another one. Almost ready to do the cut. my luck, I'm going to run out of bobbin thread. Okay, and I dropped one. Hang on. Okay, there we go. We haven't talked about the elections. Did everyone get out and vote? Everything went really smoothly here at our polling station. I know a lot of people did vote early too around here. Okay, so I'm just opening this up. Two, three, four. Uh-oh, I hope I'm doing this the right way. Reverse half the chains and sew them together again. Okay, so we're going to end up with 2, 4, 6, 8. Yep, 8 by 12. We're doing it right. Have no fear. Oh, I ran out of thread. Ha! Back there. Let's see what else we've got here. Let's try one of these pre-wound bobbins. I've never used these before. Chris, I know you use them all the time, and in fact, you gave these to me. So might as well try them. It's a thinner thread. Yeah, looks good. that's good. Start that up. And then this. All right. Okay, this is good and hot. Now we have to iron it really flat. You could spin all your seams if you were so inclined on the back, but for this, I am not. There's half. We're getting close to doing the slit. Let's see if this is going to work. I can hear the rain. Okay, I see some red here. Okay, I'm going to sew these two panels together, and then we're going to cut. We're going to make 2 diagonal cuts, and we're going to make the squares dance, or so the instructions say. Okay, let's iron this open. these Raggedy Ann and Andy are gonna have such fun on this little blankie. Okay, now we have 12 by 8. Where are the instructions? Now it says, cut the quilt top diagonally from any corner. The color you cut through will be along the edge of the quilt, so plan ahead. Okay, so I want white. I want the white to be the edge of the quilt. So I'm going to cut that corner all the way through these white squares. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to go down like that. Okay. Ha! You ready, Chris? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And oh, we are going to cut off some corners for sure. How could we not? Around the edge, I bet we're going to cut this all off. Okay, we'll keep going. Who's out there? You're ready. Okay, good. So, did you just wake up? So, we just cut that apart. Now, we go down to the bottom here and we sew it like that. At the edge of the Chris says she's at the edge of the couch. I love that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is make this seam. We're going to make the diamond. She sent a picture. Aww. Aww. Look, there's Chris. Sophie doesn't look too into it though, is she? Sweet. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. I'm jealous of your Sophie. Okay. We have to make another cut, you know. Okay. So now we have that. Okay, let me iron that. So sew the pieces together, then we make a second cut. Let me iron this first. Man, the quilt police would not be happy with this one. Okay, so now it says, so we're there. Now we go up here and it says, make a second cut. Where should this cut be made? At any point that gives a full length cut through the same color as the first cut. Okay, and it says, stay stitched first if that's your style. Nope, that ain't my style right now. Okay, so okay, what we have to do is cut through this row of white. And then sew this over here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You guys should be taking bets now. Will she cut the right strip? Can you imagine if I'm cutting the wrong strip after all this? Huh. But I don't think I did. So we have this. And we have this. And I'm going to sew those together, and then we will have the big reveal. Oh, I'm so glad, Chris, that we're just finishing this up. Otherwise, I would have gotten up early to do this tomorrow, and I would not have wanted to do that. So then I would have been unprepared for my class. So thank you. Everyone ready? Okay, let me iron it, and then our squares will be dancing, hopefully. Hello, who's out there? It's like Christmas, I'm dying over here. Oh, you're so funny. Well, don't let, the wait is over. Ta-da, your squares are dancing. How's that for a trick? And now, Raggedy Ann, now I could put a border, but I don't think I will because it's plenty big for Raggedy Ann and Andy. Or maybe I'd put a border so that a baby could lie on it with Raggedy Ann and Andy. Anyway, Thanks for joining me, everyone. Thank you, especially Christine, for being out there. I'm so glad you were. Have a great rest of the weekend. Do what you love to do, and I'll see you here next Friday night. Bye.